Larry Anglisano at Aviation Consumer with Russ Niles at AVweb. Russ, it's another AirVenture 2025 setup day. It's a Sunday. Weather's looking pretty good. What do you think?
How about this Chamber of Commerce weather? High cloud filtering the sunshine, which is still giving us a little bit of warmth, but it's in the high 70s. It's absolutely ideal for an air show. We don't know if that's going to hang around. Looks like maybe Tuesday and Wednesday we've got some weather coming in. There's been some really serious weather here in the last few days, but the airport benefits from what we've heard is called the Oshkosh split. Seems like weather systems, like a huge thunderstorm that went through this area yesterday, split when they get to this particular geographical location, and the field was largely spared.
So in aviation consumer tradition, one of the things I always look at going into a show is new stuff that's going to benefit the aircraft owner. Top of the list, I think, for every aircraft owner is new engine technology. With prices being higher than they've ever been, long lead times, I think the typical aircraft owner is looking for new engine tech. And there's something over here worth looking at. What do we got?
We got a hybrid Merlin, tiny little thing, and apparently it's got some advantages that these fellas have come across and are pretty enthusiastic about.
I'm enthused because I just saw the price at $36,500, and it's a hybrid. Save on gas. It's a brand new aircraft. Sounds good. I'm seriously going to consider it. And when you're talking the same price as a car, a new car, nothing to think about.
Well, if they're trying to conceal this mystery aircraft, I'm not so sure they did a good job.
You know, AirVenture does a really good job of honoring the history of aviation, but it also does a good job of presenting the future of aviation. A lot of people think this is the future of aviation, and I believe this is one of the first opportunities that the public has to look really close to an honest-to-goodness eVTOL. Here's the Joby, and yeah, I can barely tell what it is.
What do you know about this aircraft?
And it's actually got some pretty neat innovations. It's got those 6 like small helicopter rotor things that rotate up, and there's a lot of redundancy built in, and it really is a pretty safe airplane to fly according to the test pilot. And if you don't feel like flying it, it'll fly itself. It's designed to be fully autonomous. So I believe it holds 5 people, and they say it's going to revolutionize the way that we fly. I guess we'll see all that, but it's well funded, and it's on its way to certification, thanks to some new rules that came out late last year. We will see how big of an impact it's going to have on the way we even think about flying. A lot of work, a lot of money has gone into it.
So rolling up on Boeing Plaza, where there's going to be some pretty interesting airplanes here this year, and it's a good time to turn it over to Dick Knapinski at EAA.
Okay. You know, as we come into this year, getting ready for AirVenture and starting things off, you know, it's exciting to watch everything come together. You know, the volunteers have been on site now, a lot of them for about a month, putting this all together, and it's really starting to build up to opening day on Monday. As far as the organization, very healthy. We're more than 300,000 members as we gather at Oshkosh this year. Looking forward to a sensational event. Last year, of course, was a record, and so far advance arrivals and purchases have been very close to that, so we'll see what happens. Weather plays a factor in that, of course, when you get to a large outdoor event. But we're ready to get started with the airplanes and the people and everything that makes Oshkosh, well, Oshkosh. Well, some of the airplanes to see, first of all, it's not really an airplane, it's an airship. Goodyear's celebrating their 100th anniversary of flying blimps, so for a very rare case, they're bringing 2. And so one of them will be in the normal colors, the other one will be in the 1925 colors of Pilgrim, the very first blimp back in 1925. So that's coming in. Both B-29s will be here, Fifi and Doc, looking forward to having them back once again. First time in more than a decade, a U-2 spy plane will be on the ground the entire week. Pratt & Whitney is bringing a 747 for the first half of the week. Delta will be here with an airliner. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. We've got a lot of jets coming in because it's the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II and 75 years since the start of the Korean conflict. And really in that gap of time, the change in aviation technology that took place from mostly piston-driven aircraft to the jet age was incredible. We'll have the Constellation back this year from Lewis Air Legends, looking forward to that. So, and also the National Guard is our featured command this year. So we have Guard units from 7 different states bringing aircraft in, including one of the favorites of everybody, the A-10 Warthog is coming in from Maryland. You mentioned fuels. Boy, that 2030 deadline is starting to loom up a little bit now, just 5 years away. So the advancements in fuel and so forth, we'll have to take a look. Where is that coming from? What's the next step? How has progress been made on all of those fronts? Well, one thing everybody's talking about here at Oshkosh, of course, is the Mosaic rule. It's been, shall we say, cooking now for a couple of years, and we've heard very good things from the FAA and the Department of Transportation coming in. So is there something for Mosaic coming out? Well, we keep hearing there might be. And with the Secretary of Transportation coming here on Tuesday to make an announcement, we're cautiously optimistic about what Mosaic might be coming up.
So do you believe in coincidences, Larry?
Sorta.
Well, I don't think this is a coincidence. The market is about to enter into a competition that we haven't seen in a while. Pilatus has pretty much ruled the big high-performance single-engine turboprop market for a lot of years, and they've got their PC-12, the latest PC-12, on display here. Look what's right across the street. Textron brought its Denali here. This is a prototype, their test article, or one of them, I guess, and they've got it literally 100 feet from the PC-12, and you're going to see a lot of these two airplanes in the news and in ads and in comparisons as the Denali gets to certification and we see it enter real-world service. PC-12 sets the standard for that now. Let's see if Textron can successfully challenge that. The thing about aviation, Larry, is you never know where the next market is going to come from. And small package delivery has been the domain of high-performance piston singles until Textron got into the act with the Sky Courier. Now this is a custom-built airplane pretty much for FedEx. Takes a standard container for package services and makes things way more efficient and gives a brand new airplane to a market that has seen legacy aircraft serve it for decades. Pretty spiffy looking new airplane, and it looks tough. Big heavy gear, struts for the wings. This is a no-nonsense aircraft with a specific purpose. Fixed gear and that great big ass door in the back that I think you can put 3 standard airline containers, like ship cargo containers in it. Textron's got its biggest presence ever at Oshkosh, and it's taken up like most of an acre here, the prime real estate at AirVenture. There we got a Citation M2, Skylane, and a great big Grand Caravan. For a long time there were thoughts that Textron was going to leave particularly the propeller-driven end of the market and concentrate on jets, but it looks like they're here to stay with propeller-driven airplanes of all different sizes. So we were talking about expanding markets for aviation. Who would have ever thought that a crop duster would turn into one of the greatest tools in fighting climate change? Here's an air tractor Fire Boss, and they are deceptively big airplanes. Carry about 800 gallons of fire retardant or water. Some of them can scoop from the water. I'm not sure if this one does. Probably does. And they've become a major tool in wildfire fighting all over the world. They attack a fire in swarms of like 8 or 10 aircraft, and are very effective at bringing the fire under control early. They go really fast, so they can get to the fire fast, and with that scooping capability, they just need to find a river or a lake nearby, and they can put a lot of water in a short period of time on a fire.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come. Stay tuned for continued coverage here from AirVenture 2025. Firecrown will be doing its Oshkosh Live series daily, so you could see some live segments. And we'll see you soon, right, Russ?
We will see you everywhere by the looks of it.